Good morning, class. We're going to go on to our fourth Frayer model. So this is the fourth one out of a total of 5. So there is one more to go after this. But in that one, you have seen it very similar done before. So the first one we have given is the point slope form, okay? And so remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equal to m parentheses x minus x1. And remember, we started putting boxes around our x1 and y1 because we know we want to read the opposite of it. But remember, with point slope form, we were given two things. We were given the point x1, y1, okay? And we were also given the slope, okay? M is our slope, okay? So in this case, what is the m for our slope in the form given? Well, m is 1 over 4. So our slope is 1/4. And our point is still read the same way, but remember we talked about reading it in the opposite direction. So if we have a -3 for y1, then we have a +3 as our point. Then if we have a -8 for x1, then we have a +8 for our point. Okay, because if we were to write this backwards, we would say the opposite of +8 is a -8. So our point is 8,3. Okay, so now we've done that. Now we can go over to slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And so the two things that are given here, or that you have to find, is the slope and b, which is our y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite our equation. Y minus 3 is equal to 1/4 parentheses x minus 8. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute. I'm going to distribute my 1/4 to both terms in parentheses. So then I'm left with y minus 3 is equal to 1/4 x, and then 1/4 times a -8 gives me minus 2. So I've done that first step of distributing. So then my second step is to move y1. And remember, y1 is here, so whatever's in that spot, or what you would normally tell me is to add 3, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm only putting move y1 because if you're doing this for any kind of problem, then you know what y1 is supposed to be. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So my slope-intercept form is y equals 1/4 x, and then 3 minus 2 is a +1. Okay, so now I'm completed solving for y to give my slope-intercept form. Now we have standard form. And standard form is ax plus by equal to c. Okay, so now we're going this way. So think we always end up going counterclockwise. So I have y equals 1/4 x plus 1. And remember, our first step is to move x, because we need to get x and y on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 1/4 x. Okay, so now I have negative 1/4 x plus y equal to 1. Okay, so now our second step, we have two things going on. We got a fraction and we have a negative. So let's start with one thing at a time. Let's get rid of the fractions. We're going to clear the fraction. And remember, when we clear a fraction, that means we multiply by denominator. So we're going to multiply by the denominator. So in this case, the denominator for both sides of this equation is a 4. Okay, so I'm going to distribute to all terms. So 1/4, negative 1/4 times 4 gives me a negative x. Then I have plus 4y equal to 4. Okay, so now I notice that ax is negative. So in order to get rid of the negative, I'm going to multiply by -1. So I'm going to multiply each term by -1 this time. Some of you guys have realized you can multiply by -4. You could have done both at the same time. I just wanted to give you each step by step to make this very, very clear. So now when I distribute -1, all of my signs are going to change. So my negative x now becomes positive. Plus 4y becomes a minus 4y. And then -1 times 4 is a -4. And there I have completed my last form and the best form for standard form. Now all I have left to do is graph. So my y-intercept is at 1. So at 0, 1. And then I already have a point at 8, 3. So now I can use my slope to graph the rest. So I go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that my slope is 1/4. It's a positive m, so that means my line should be increasing. So I go down 1, go over 1, 2, 3, 4. And there I have my line. So that completes our 4th Frayer model. If you are still on the fence on how to write all equations in each form, I do have tutoring hours on Thursdays after school from 3 to 5 p.m. and on Wednesday mornings from 6:45 to 7:15. Thank you so much for watching my video.